So, will we see any drastic change in how the game works in terms of building and how system works? Like in-game systems.
Okay, so for the ships, the biggest update that everyone probably knows about is the power and weapon update. And that was basically the plan to do before the universe update to be the last big change that comes to ships. There would be still minor updates, for example, to like the reactor balance and like minor stuff, but I don't want people to have again to strip down their ships and remake stuff. And kind of the reactor system helps with maintaining that kind of meta in a way, in that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make reactor a smaller part of the ship, because like if something changes in terms of balance, you don't have to tear down the whole ship, you just have to do minor changes, especially with like the chamber system that is also modular, that you don't have to like completely reinvent your ship like you had to do with the power update. So for me that was kind of quote-unquote necessary evil to do to get the game into a better state, since the old power system it kind of ran itself into a state where there would have been like kind of no more progress from there. Like there would be more and eventually you cannot go anymore, and then if you do like an update then and change everything, then it would be even worse. So I wanted to do it now and then do the universe update, so everything, like every ship that you build now would be usable after the universe update, basically. The reason why chambers are kind of like not really completed is that chambers are probably one of the main point of contention that will be used with the universe update, because there's going to be some changes to systems. Like everything is gonna change there, basically. Like everything on the ship is gonna kind of stay the same, but anything around the ship is probably gonna change.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit more what you mean with things around the ship?
Basically, the whole universe, like the shape of it, for foremost, and of course the look of it, kind of like. Also, I kind of want to make it so that you kind of know where you are in the universe by just or in the galaxy rather, by just looking around. Like the whole procedural generation is nice and all, but if there is no purpose to it, if you fly further out, you just see the same stuff, and that's a major problem with games that procedurally generate in general. So what I kind of want to make is I want to still have like infinity, of course, but the game would be the game board, if you will, would be kind of confined to a more local space, and that local space would be very flashed out. If we scale it down and have it more stuff in it, basically more meat to it, different regions, different stellar objects, different background, like a nebula, for example, or black holes. We already have black holes, but they would change.
I really thought about this, actually, you know, the background. Will the background still be like random when you go to sectors, or will there be some, you know, I don't know, blue part and red part of a galaxy?
They would, I kind of want to remake them into them reflecting kind of what part of the galaxy you are in, and reflecting the stars that are around you. So that goes in part what I said in the beginning. I kind of want the game for players to know where they are in the galaxy by just looking around, basically. Also, like objects in the sky, like nebulas, for example, or even like quote-unquote weather, like storms that go through the universe. You would be kind of seeing that in the distance, and could also fly into them if you so wanted to.
That's very cool.
And that was part of the reason why I did the whole effect system too, that like the chamber system already uses, because that effect system also works for for the sector system. In that you can apply different values, and one of them would be that there would be like different zones, especially where different attributes would be added to you in every ship that would visit them. Like, what about a zone, for example, where there is some gravity affecting you, or a zone where no shields work, or a zone where cannons are completely useless, or a zone where cannons are completely overpowered. Like, you could have so much different things, so much different interesting things there. And for the sector system is going to go away.
Oh, really?
In the foreground, basically. It will still be there for the background for technical purposes, because that's how I do the workaround between having to use double precision for every value. Yeah, and so basically there would still be sectors. I want to upgrade the whole sector system in that you would not realize when you cross the sector border anymore.
Yeah,
like that would be seamless, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for as like one of the basic parts of the universe update, in that making sector borders disappear. And from there there would be a new system emerging that would be regions, basically, which would be a set of sectors. The universe will also flatten down in a way.
Disk?
Yeah, mostly for gameplay purposes, that you would not go you would not go up and down a lot to visit. Like, stars would still be on a different plane, of course. They would not be like a single plane,
but mainly like most real galaxies, or at least
there would be rarely any star on top of each other on a vertical, like on the y-axis.
You dropped a pretty interesting word a few minutes back, and that's planets.
I mean, there have been some pictures in the Discord, and those pictures kind of are development planets. They are not very fast at the moment, but that's also one of the points I want to make. In the beginning of the universe update, there would be a lot of performance upgrades to the graphics in general, mainly one being a new occlusion color, which would just generally upgrade performance for these kind of huge structures. And another one would be a top-level LOD system where blocks in the distance just get simplified.
How does the new planets? How will they look? What shape will they be?
They will still be round. The main upgrade to them is that we would be using one continuous generation algorithm, so that would mitigate there would still be like plates, but they would now have a completely made core. Like, everything would be a block. It would have a lot more plates. That makes it a lot more round. Like, it actually looks round then. And the transitions between plates would be kind of minimal, because of like using one continuous generation algorithm kind of makes them a lot better in that regard. And I'm also looking into filling up the gaps between plates, so you wouldn't even see if there's a plate transition.
Well, that's fair enough. And then we can move to the next thing, and that is the bubble shield system, which, for people that haven't tuned in for a while in StarMade, now the shield generation makes kind of a bubble, and inside that bubble it protects the blocks from outside damage of the bubble, but the bubble isn't visible. Now, many players thinks this is a little bit complex and hard to understand. Will the shield bubble system stay, or will it be simplified to an easier model like some other systems?
They probably will stay. in that like shields will be area based. But what I kind of want to change is how it's presented, because it's not presented in a very easy to understand way at the moment, which is kind of bad. So the way shield bubbles cover blocks, I want to make more apparent. Also the way that the shield bubbles grow and like intersect with other, just like this kind of system is, I think, is the main thing what makes it complicated, in that you don't really know what exactly happens when you place the block. And that kind of I want to upgrade to a way where it's more context help based, in that you see exactly what's happened when you place on the blocks. You don't need to read through anything. You place it and the system gives you enough feedback to know what exactly you did or what exactly you did wrong in that point.
All right. Yeah, because it can be a little challenging to cover an entire ship with shields while not overlap the bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. So for this kind of stuff, there would be probably more upgrades to the bubbles in general, like either allowing more overlap or to change the bubble a little bit, in that you could like squeeze it maybe.
Deform the bubble kind of to cover. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I think that would solve many of those area problems. But the shield bubbles are interesting in one part, and that it will be much harder for someone to make a shield only ship.
Yeah, the main purpose of the shield bubble was to take away that general defense that shields had before. Like you could make a shield on one part of the ship and then build an island out in another like world, like 50 kilometers away, and that part of the ship would still get fully shielded, and that kind of was a problem. It's also part of the like came with like the old integrity and stuff. The problem with shields is that there would not be a valid way to like simplify that into a rule system, because like you cannot really switch off shield bubbles for a ship and just switch to the old system, really, because they work so vastly different, other than with like integrity or the energy beam. And I still like the shield bubble system in how it like enhances the dynamic. You're right in that it's problematic to like cover ships, and that's something I have to work on, in that like I said, make it more customizable how the bubble works, and make it more easier to manage and maintain.
What are your StarMade expectations for 2019?
So 2019 will be completely universe update. I really hope to finish it by the end of 2019, and that would essentially, hopefully, mean that the game would go into beta by then.
All right. A good friend of mine really wants to know if and when there will be a new official build competition for builds that will end up in the official game.
So at the moment, Saber is doing contract, which would basically be somewhat of a build competition. It's that like he basically issues contracts for different ships for different factions, and that would be kind of like a certain style how to make them. And you could take on these contracts and then build a ship, and those ships would then eventually end up in the game.
All right. So it's basically like someone wants weapons, says make an AK-47, and then just choose the manufacturer, kind of.
Yeah, in a way.
But with more creative freedom, I guess. All right, and then we have, so right now one can buy StarMade to support the game. One can also play the demo, which is the full game. But how much will StarMade cost when the free-to-play period is over?
I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but it would be probably around 25, 30-ish dollars.
All right, so the universe update. The next big update. We already talked about what it will bring, but what can we expect? When can we expect it to come out?
I hope it for like the end of this year. Like there's a ton of things I have to do. Like the whole upgrade thing is kind of like this moment, like upgrading all the libraries.
Yeah.
And then basically tearing down the whole universe and rebuilding it. But I think end of this year is somewhat realistic. As the earliest probably. And the latest I would say like first half of 2020.
All right. So basically universe update hopefully until the end of the this year, or latest first half of 2020 then.
Yeah.
And you mentioned,
basically what I consider to be a better for me always is feature completeness.
Yeah.
And I mean I could there's no convention on what you call an alpha and what you call an beta. So anyone can call their own project whatever they want. I could call it full release now if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So for me, a beta is feature completeness. That's why it has taken so long, basically, because like you could already call it a beta and get more people to play, but like because like that word beta has a little bit of traction to it. But I'm holding off for my own purpose and for not like screwing players over in that they think there's like some major change when there really isn't.
Yeah.
So for me, beta always was feature completeness, and after like as soon as it enters beta state, I want to make quality of life changes, polishing, and of course ton of bug fixing.
We talked a little bit about it before we started the recording. But the new audio for the StarMade, it will also be implemented into the universe update, if I didn't understand you incorrectly. Yes.
The main reason I held off on that is that the sound library was kind of wonky. So now with upgrading all the libraries, I finally have full control over that, new systems, new integrations that are made much better. So I will probably start on implementing audio in February.
Oh, all right, that's very early, January now, so
yeah, it might still be some time for like the first prototype build to be playable on that whole thing, but the first prototype will probably have the new audio system. I can't promise that like all the audio is then already in, but it definitely has the API to put in the audio for our audio people, basically.
Yeah, well, that's nice. So people naturally wonder, what is your earliest and most distant release date for StarMade?
So as said, once it enters beta, it would be only polishing and bug fixing, so I don't expect the beta phase to take very long, to be honest. So the beta phase will likely take, I would guess, half a year at max until the full release. So the alpha phase is like the big thing here, and since my definition of beta was always feature completeness, the beta phase will not really take very long.
So of course this is a hard thing to guess on, but would you have an estimation of a date it would be released?
Maybe end of 2020, but like this is very, very, very vague.
Yeah. So probably earliest end of 2020.
Yeah, earliest.
All right. Now I'm actually out of questions that I was supposed to ask, but I just got this little idea. StarMade final, version. Will there be consumables?
Consumables? Yeah, probably.
That's cool.
I don't know yet about like the whole survival aspect. I kind of want to do survival, yes, but not in a way that you see it in a lot of current games, in that you like have hunger and stuff. Because I think StarMade as a whole is a lot grander in concept. So I kind of, if there are like needs, those needs would have to reflect kind of the game more. And I think like hunger in a space game is, I'm not sure, like I'm a big fan of like space shows, like for example Star Trek. So and hunger is not really ever a issue in Star Trek, so but there are a lot of other issues that are there, and I kind of want to reflect more on those, and kind of like the survival aspect. Like if you see like the Enterprise flying around in new space, they have certain things they have to do to stay afloat, and I think the least of their worries is getting food after the replicator or something.
But you mentioned that you're not sure about air, so do you want to develop on that, or do you want to brood on it?
I will definitely look into it. Like the air thing is it's one of those things that are nice in concept, but might get out of hand fast. Not only for as a gameplay element, in that it might become tedious, or like it mostly for like implementing it. Like if there are any bugs to it, it will become tedious very fast. It's a similar thing why there's no fall damage in StarMade, because like if there's any bug in fall damage, you just die by walking or something. That's super annoying. And it's similar with the air, kind of like if there's any bug where you suddenly like run out of air out of nowhere, then that would become super annoying fast. So if I do air, I want to make it so that it's definitely not tedious.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens, basically. Well, I'm hoping for consumables, even though they're useless.
Well, I mean, there would be other purposes to consumables than just like taking away your hunger, maybe.
Become drunk.
Maybe.
Annoying visual bug. Well, don't drink and drive. Now you ended up in a black hole. Oh,
but there could be consumables that would maybe like benefit your ship or benefit your
that's
player.
Pretty cool.
Also looking into items that would like upgrade your ship, kind of in a way that so you would basically get these items by doing quests or other activities with different difficulties, and you could like, this is all very vague, I don't want to like promise anything, but
no,
like,
of course
you could take these items and for example put them in your reactor, and that item would for example give you extra reactor capacity maybe, but that's of course very overpowered. So maybe something less drastic, like give you certain chamber even, or a chamber effect, more or less, that you wouldn't have to build a chamber for. So you would kind of be able to like outfit your ship in a way that like a Diablo player would outfit their gear in a way.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought about just a little bit about weapons and armor and like player collisions, because sometimes it can be the different players can be like glitched out when you try to shoot them with your handguns. Yeah. But I guess that might disappear with the update of.
Yeah, I definitely want to fix all those player issues. Maybe with the updated physics library, that would be a lot easier, because like this stuff I'm working with is kinda old in a way. But I mean, it's not old in a way that can't be fixed. I still can fix that too. It's just like kind of have to redo the character physics a little bit.
All right. Well, I was thinking about, personal equipment and gear and stuff. Like the standard laser pistol feels pretty like bare bone. Will they be like, I don't know, updated or something like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like this is also one of the main aspects of the Uranus update, getting more gear in for the player characters to use.
All right.
More weapons, different weapons, some more cool stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Me and Xaber had a great blast trying some FPS battles.
Yeah, it sometimes get buggy, unfortunately, and that definitely fixed that. It's mostly like the syncing that's kind of bugged. The server thinking you're somewhere else than the client shows you.
I think that the fact that all blocks can be destroyed makes hand-to-hand combat pretty interesting. Only if the weapons were a little bit more interesting, it could be open up great many game modes.
Oh yeah. That's kind of what I want to do. Like get more weapons, more options for maneuverability. Like maybe getting like jetpacks. Also different things that affect your character's movement. Maybe like a jump pad or something, like Quake has it.
Moon boots.
Yeah.
All right. Oh well. I think that I don't have anything more to ask you. I don't know if you want to throw any questions at me or at the community in general. You may do so.
Just in general, I'm very thankful for everybody that plays the game and gives me feedback, and I'm happy that people enjoy the game. There's no greater feeling for me, pretty much it. And I hope you all be a little bit. I know it's taken a long time, and it will take in a little bit more time further, but I really do my best, and I hope everybody will enjoy what I then finally will come up with, and just just a little bit more patience.
Well, at least some of us are patient, others are less patient. But,
yeah, that's understandable, of course.
Oh
like,
well.
I mean,
yeah. Sorry.
People like it. Even if people like, even in harsh criticism, if people care about the game, then that makes me at least partly happy.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people are emotional because they care about things, and that's maybe a little bit of a grain of salt there.
Oh well. Can't please everyone, I guess, as you said before.
Exactly, yeah.
And with that, I will say to everyone watching this quite long video, I think, thanks very much for watching. This is Gmodism, Total Nerdy Channel with Schema, signing out.
Goodbye.
If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. If you wanna see more videos like this, you should subscribe. Also check out my other StarMade videos. I also want to say thanks to Marty and Tram, who support the channel by Patreon, which helps out a lot. And also, huge thanks again to Schema, who agreed to participate in this interview, which for me was very interesting to know more about where the game is heading and also the history of it. If you want to know more about StarMade, check the links below, get into the Discord and talk around. I hope I will be seeing you around the channel, around Twitch and around my Discord too in the future. This is Gmodism, Total Nerdy Channel.